Nuclear missile ready. 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 Nuclear missile ready.
I haven't seen Astrea's playing against them very often, so I don't know what level he's at compared to them. But I'd say he probably is still a step down. Still
Yeah.
have to see how this goes.
Oh, I guess the sound was out. Hi again. I'm Xenodactyl. With me is Salavanth. And we were not able to bring you King versus Patience. King couldn't make it for whatever reason, so Astrea is filling in. And yeah. Salavanth, any remarks before we get started on Automaton?
Automaton is a very interesting map. It's very good for air, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Phoenix War coming out of this. It has an extremely open area to attack. We shall talk about it a bit more after the introductions come in. Do you want to take the first intro or the second, Xena?
I'll take a second.
Alrighty. I'll set them up, you knock them down. As we enter, it will be the first game of the day for many of our players, especially on the Korean server. And we shall see how we go. Astrea, a strong player, but is he at Patience's caliber? I just don't know about that. He did beat Parting, but remember, Parting was playing on the NA server. Now Astrea is the one with the ping disadvantage. In the bottom left, representing Korea, representing himself, and representing the color blue, we have Patience.
And to the top right, as the red Protoss with the unique pylon placement, it is Astrea.
Yeah, what is he doing?
I don't know. He doesn't want a wall today.
No, that is very unusual, and I cannot wait to see what happens. I wonder if he's going to actually wall off. Yeah, it looks like he's going to do a bit of a different wall off, where he's only going to wall off his mineral line instead of walling off his entire base, but that seems just odd. Adepts can still shade around that and get some serious damage done.
Yeah,
and Patience will see this.
Technically, with your second pylon, you could still form a wall, but that seems to kind of defeat the... Oh.
We are getting some delay from Mystic.
Okay. Well,
if it happens again, we may need to get him to leave the game.
Yeah. You know, actually, I wonder if this is, I've seen Astrea play, like a mesh cross style, and I know that Roddy generally doesn't wall when he does that.
Why not?
I think because of the one gate and, like, some other factor, he feels that it's not as advantageous, but...
No, this is a two-gate build, though.
Yeah, I don't know then. I'm out
we'll
of
see
ideas.
We'll see if Patience wants to take advantage of this by going for 2 Adepts. If I saw no wall, I would absolutely just go 2 Adepts blindly into whatever I had planned before, or just go straight for a Stargate, because Stargate's great off Adepts. But I would definitely open Adepts if I saw this, if I was on the ladder. Of course, Patience is slightly better than I am, citation needed. So we'll have to see.
I mean
technically, Patience and I have never...
He's, like, concerned about, like, 3-gate prism or something that can really pressure the front, and rather have a sunken positioning, but it seems like a lot to give up for the comfort of the wall.
And he's not going for it. Patience, he's just going for 2 Stalkers, though he's going to send them across the map to try and get some damage done.
Okay.
Well, I think Patience is better than me. I have no data to support that conclusion because Patience and I have never actually played. Have played Parting once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually came pretty close to winning. He was in a 24-hour stream. He was doing meme builds. He did a double Stargate Phoenix proxy off 1 base. And I'm pretty sure it was the 24-hour stream was beginning to steal his sanity. If I had a Warp Wisdom with my counter push, I actually might have won that game. I lost 0 MMR. He was 1400 MMR above me. I saw that it was this Protoss on an A called Memester and I'm like, who the hell would be 6100 MMR with builds like that? Looked up Parting's stream and there he was.
That'll do it.
He's the only guy who would do that. Okay, so we are going to see 3 gates. I don't even know if we're going to see a prism at all. Well, I don't think we are. I think we're just going to see some very heavy 3-gate Stalker pressure along with a Nexus of his own for Patience. As Patience is going to try and use this early expansion of Astrea, this lack of wall against him. I don't really see how the lack of a wall is really going to make a difference here. And Astrea has plenty of units, so I think Astrea is going to be just fine here. And Astrea is actually going to start this game with an advantage over Patience.
Yeah, he has 3 sentries as well, so he can cut off a lot of the reinforcement path, or retreat path, I should say. And
Oh, look at that! Bunch of force fields go down, take out a ton of these Stalkers. So many of them are very low. All of the Stalkers except one are going down, and suddenly the sentries are being chased down as well. And sentries do not go well in straight up fights. He recalls, does Patience, but he's going to lose yet another Stalker.
I think he lost a sentry too, amidst the recall.
Yeah, Astrea's in a great position all of a sudden. He's up 5 probes, he's up 8 supply, he's got the faster robo, and he's already starting to get that immortal count going. He's in great shape.
Gonna have 2 adepts across the map to kind of keep his opponent back. And speaking to that wall, or lack thereof, we were talking about earlier, might be a nuisance. Shades are going straight to the main, and there are sentries there.
And he does choose to let it finish. If only there was some sort of set of buildings that could have slowed that down.
Yeah, would have been nice.
But then again, no one really has that at this stage. Oh, I like how Patience is doubling it back, coming back into the main and sniping yet more probes. That was a slick maneuver. 4 probes go down, we might get 5 or even 6, but no, the targeting isn't quite there. He goes after a sentry, doesn't quite get it. Astrea is still with a huge advantage though. He's up 20 supply already in this game. But +1 is on the way for Patience.
Moving across the map, it looks like he wants to capitalize on his advantage.
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea. We've got a couple of Zealots in the Prism. I'm not exactly sure why he's chosen them. But yeah, Patience could absolutely get caught with his pants down here. He doesn't have any Immortals, so he does have a Prism of his own. And the War Prism is going to come in, drop a couple of Zealots, probably, I guess, the least important units on the front, and they're just going to be used to draw units back. 3 Stalkers forced to retreat. Shield batteries on the way for Patience, and Astrea's just going to let these Zealots kill the shield battery and be busy in the main while he goes for the natural, and there's almost nothing here for Patience. It is literally just sentries and shield batteries. There is an Immortal to be brought down from the War Prism. That is a good move, and a lot of these Stalkers are actually going to get vaporized. They get trapped by the force fields. Excellent force fields from Patience. Is he actually going to hold this? The Zealots do get taken out as Astrea is doing everything he can to keep these sentries alive, which he does. The Immortal in trouble, but he does force a retreat, does Patience, and Patience gets the better end of that trade. He's got +1 on the way, while Astrea has not even started it. He starts it now.
Now that was masterfully handled by Patience.
Take a look at the unit lost tabs. L. On the keyboard.
Gateways are finishing up in the main.
Alright, I'll just tell the people it is 1800 to 1800. Not anymore. Missed your chance. And these Immortals and Stalkers will get some damage done in the main, as 4 probes will go down. 3rd base on the way for Astrea, as 4 more gates have gone up for him and will start going up for Patience as well. Again, Astrea just a little bit faster on most of these things except for the upgrades. I want to say I think Patience has done a fine job of getting back into this game. He's in a much less bad position than he was a couple of minutes ago. So what do you think we're going to see from here?
Oh, it feels like Astrea had an advantage, and it it's not like he's lost his advantage, but the primary window for him to leverage that seems to have closed. So like it's starting to even out just as they near a more complete army set.
That's true, although Australia does have a pretty decisive supply lead, so he may go for another timing attack, but it will be difficult when he doesn't have an upgrade lead. Maybe with +2 against +2 he can make stuff happen. We shall have to see. This hallucinated Phoenix is taking just forever to die, continuing to shoot at this Warp Prism that's just hanging around. Meanwhile, an Immortal Drop goes down, gets a couple of probes. Immortal Drop is very strong in Robo vs. Robo. There's really nothing that Astrea can do to actually force us away. All he can do is warp in some Zealots to try and discourage this from getting tons of damage done. And he's doing well against this, but he's not going to be able to do any long-term... He's not going to actually stop this Prism long-term. It's basically never going to be in any danger. I like how many units Astrea has around the map in various places, just defending against this Warp Prism.
Astrea on the other side,
Yeah,
gonna get
gets a pylon
or two, and some force
Oh,
fields.
beautiful force fields there. He's going to trap a couple of those Stalkers, and the Immortal doing tons of damage to it. That shield battery is trying to heal, but it is going to get taken out of all of its energy. A couple of Stalkers do get taken out. In the meantime, I don't know if Astrea is watching. No, he does get this Immortal out, but he loses both the sentries. So both sides trying to get damage done with the Warp Prisms. Neither side really being too successful. Both sides defending extremely well. And Astrea is still in a solid position, up 10 workers. Getting +2 on the way, +3 is not yet started for Patience, and Astrea is still up 20 supply as Patience goes out for an attack, and I don't know if that attack's going to do anything. Oh, but Astrea is going out for an attack as well. Patience retreats, seeing it with his observer. No, consolidating his forces back. I don't know which side's going to do what. They're both just moving around the map, but it looks like Patience is now committing. Oh, but he gets the Warp Prism and the Immortal before it gets the recall, which even forces out a recall as well. Double Immortal getting tons of damage done at the natural. 4 probes down, 5, maybe 6, even 7 or 8 going down as Astrea tries to recover, and all of a sudden, just like that, Patience has evened up this game again. It is +2 to +2. The supplies are nearly even. This game is deadlocked. It is anyone's game now, all of a sudden. What a PvP we've started this off with. And this is the best of 7, people.
Double Immortal Drop has really paid dividends for Patience as he's been constantly dropping. And
Astrea is going for an attack, and Patience is out of position. I think he sees it. Yeah, he sees it now. He sees these Immortals coming across. Patience is spreading his units out, and he's got a great arc against Astrea. I don't think Astrea can engage this. But he is taking a worker lead once again. Astrea just continues to produce workers time and time again. And he's trying to move in, trying to get a good position. Oh, and it looks like he actually is going to get a good arc against this, using the Nexus against Patience. He does need to move some of these charge lots back. A lot of them are not fighting, but a lot of the charge lots over Patience are stuck in the back. That could be everything he needs. Patience is charge forward, but I think it's just too late. What a beautiful arc from Astrea. He's moving forward with all of his units. There's nothing Patience can do. He's moving it, he's making a hallucinated Colossus, but it's just not going to do the trick. These Archons are so low, but they are all pulled back by Astrea, and the army is demolished. Astrea is just destroying everything, and GG is cold. Astrea takes game number 1 with a beautiful engagement right there at the 3rd base of Patience.
That last engagement reminded me a lot of when Zest played on this map in GSL. He was in the defender's position in the same way, and he had a lot of Zealots the same way that Patience did, but his opponent had the higher Immortal count and got a better position and was able to break him.
Yeah, in this case it was definitely a combination of a couple of different things.
Sure.
Firstly, Astrea had a much better arc because he used the Nexus. And secondly, some of his charge lots were not attacking, but they were at the front tanking damage, whereas a bunch of Patience's units, his charge lots were actually in the middle of the army, doing nothing, unable to fight, while the Archons were being killed. By the time they charged in, Astrea had such a great arc, such a lead. He just played that out extremely well. He made a fantastic engagement, and Patience unfortunately was not ready for it. Didn't have his units in the right position. PvP, I feel like the engagements can be determined really by 2 things. Concave and positioning of units. Ideally what you want is layers. It's like a sandwich. You want the charge lots in the front, then you want the Archons behind them, and then you want the Immortals behind them. That way, everything can fire at once and nothing gets in each other's way. If you don't have that, if you have units that are just moving around and not fighting, it becomes much harder to win that fight. And controlling Archon Immortal is largely about keeping your units out of each other's way. They're so big, so bulky. If you have a good concave and your opponent doesn't, you have an advantage. And if all your units are firing and the opponents are not, you have an advantage. And Astrea had both, thus enabling him to take such a massive lead in that fight that looked very even with the armies that actually fought. And Astrea saw his opportunity and he went for it. Alright, in the upper left, taking game number 1 in decisive fashion. Can he do it again on Patience's map pick? It is Astrea.
And to the bottom right as the blue Protoss, it is Patience.
Again, Astrea chooses not to wall off. I want to ask him about that after.
Yeah, it is
This
curious.
match is
Astrea
over.
generally has some stylistic oddities, but there's often reason, right? So what are those reasons?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't wall off. And because, I mean, Astrea is very good. I'm sure he has a reason, I just don't understand what it is.
Sure.
So, it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. And yeah, he throws down the Cybercore again, but he has no second gateway, does he?
Yeah. Did you want to take a moment and talk about one of our... Oh, dang it. Sponsors?
We will have to do that at the end of game 2, I think. We did miss that at the end of game 1, but we have a best of 7, so we've got plenty of time to get
Alright.
to everything. I should just write myself a note to remember that.
Sentry first from the gateway. So gonna have
Yeah,
that hallucination available to him, and did he start Warp Tech? Yes, he did. Okay.
So it will be a very greedy opening from Astrea.
Definitely.
He's going for 2 sentries, oh my goodness. I don't think Patience is just gonna let him get away with this. He's making a Robo, he's making Adept. I think he's gonna... It looks like he wants to expand, but he might just try and crush this with a Robo attack. But that might also be exactly what Astrea is hoping for. But I see no way these Adepts don't get damage done. It's nothing but sentries for Astrea.
Yeah, he is
And
putting down shield
he's not even
batteries
walled
as
off.
He realizes that, or he's well aware that he's opened very greedy.
It's only 1 shield battery at the front though. I think these Adepts could just walk right on in and kill both these sentries. He is building a shield battery at his main now. But could it be too little too late? Yeah, these Adepts, they're not even shading, they're just going to walk right on in, they're just going to kill both sentries just as expected. And there is absolutely nothing that Astrea can do about that. I am a little questioning about this opening choice. Because he is going to take out, yeah, both sentries, a bunch of probes, and he's probably going to get out. I think he might lose 1 Adept. Yeah, it looks like he's going to lose that first Adept, but overall, good opening from... Well, I suppose it's a good opening from Astrea, actually, because he didn't take crippling damage by any means. And he does have the worker lead now. But Patience is building a Warp Prism. I think he's going to go across with more Immortals, a Sentry, with Immortals, Sentries. He's going to try and get some more damage done against this. It's still only 1 gate for Astrea. He's not going to have many units.
He has his own
And
Immortal in
Patience is not
production.
dead.
It will be out by the time of this attack. So
Yeah, that's true.
he can at least go toe-to-toe in terms of the heavy-hitting tech.
I don't know. I think that what
But he lost his
Patience
sentries
can do-
is really going to be the larger impact, I think, in this engagement.
I think what Patience might very well do is just send the Warp Prism into the main base with those sentries and then force field off the main and try and kill everything in the natural, or at least the pylons, while most of the units are stuck in the natural. Or it looks like, he's got Adepts and sentries. I don't know what he's going to do. He could go to the main, he could go to the natural. He's got a whole bunch of different options here. He's using the threat of the Adepts to force the units out of position, and he's going to probably just force field them away. They are not in range of the shield batteries, but the Warp Prism will ensure that happens. It looks like that Immortal just barely stays alive. The probes doing all they can, but so many probes are going down. I think Astrea is going to survive this, but he's going to lose his worker lead pretty badly. Patience warping in some Stalkers. This is such a close fight. I don't know who's going to win, but it looks like Patience does have the advantage. This Immortal just barely surviving. It finally goes down. But will the Immortal? Yes, the Immortal does go down for Astrea as well, and he can just continue to warp in Stalkers with 1 hit against 3. GG is called. Patience with a beautiful opening, a beautiful attack, breaks the greed of Astrea and takes game number 2. This is kind of what I was worried about in game number 1. Those Adepts just doing so much damage.
Yeah, it seems like game 1 was like, oh, my opponent is doing something different. Okay, I'm just gonna carry on with what I was doing. And then game 2, he's like, oh, you're doing this again? Okay, well, let me punish you for it.
Yeah, I wonder if Patience is going to continue to do this.
We'll see.
By the way, this match is sponsored by Bubba Burger, North America's best-selling frozen burger brand, I believe. They have 8 different flavors. They've got turkey, they've got beef, they've got chicken, they've even got a veggie burger. We don't have them here in Australia, but I believe Zeno has tried them and can verify for their quality himself.
Yep. Good stuff.
So if you do like burgers that can just be taken out of the freezer, no need to defrost them, just toss them in the oven or toss them on the fry pan and have some good quality. Do try Bubba Burger. We're very thankful for them for helping us create these events. And we'll be going into game number 3 shortly.
Port Alexander.
Yeah. I believe we still have King's Cove, Year Zero, Kairos Junction, Port Alexander, and New Repugnancy to go.
Oh.
In no particular order. Because it is loser's pick. So, do you think Patience is going to go for Adepts again and try and punish this? Or do you think that's just what he was going to go all along against this 1 gate sort of opening from Astrea?
I feel like it was pretty reactionary. Like, he may have made a mental note the first game and said, oh, okay, well, if he does this again or something in this direction, I might as well get Adepts.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if the reaction was to the lack of the wall or to the 1 gate expand.
Oh, sure. Who knows?
Because Adepts are pretty good against that 1 gate expand, because
Right.
you just don't have as many units to fend them off.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens in game number 3 and how Patience wants to continue to adapt to the strange style that Astrea is throwing at him. As we enter Port Alexander. Alright. In the upper left, representing Alpha X, representing North America, is the strange Protoss. It is Astrea.
And to the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, it is Patience.
And yeah, for a 3rd time in a row, he's choosing not to wall himself off. This is clearly just the way that he's chosen to play. Meanwhile, Patience going for the more standard move, getting a gateway at the ramp, walling himself off against potential Adept play. We'll have to see if Astrea wants to go for that 1 gate again.
I mean, other than... Other than Roddy doing it, not walling, I've seen it as a meta against cannon rushes, but like, so situational. Like,
oh yeah, this is definitely not like an anti-cannon rush thing.
yeah, no.
Patience is not a guy who really cannon rushes in this matchup in the first place. We do see the 2-gate from Astrea this time around.
He's sending out 2 probes, so perhaps he wants to proxy something.
Patience.
Yeah.
Where's the second probe?
One is going to the top.
Yeah.
And it has thrown down a pylon, so it looks Stargate positioning. But
Yeah. He definitely is. Oh yeah, there's the second one. I see them both now. Alright, so yeah, definitely is going to be a proxy, probably a Stargate, as you said. Which will probably mean Adepts as the opening of Patience. Because Patience, Adepts just works so well with the Stargate. Adepts out for Astrea as well. So yeah, Patience, I think this time, this move, I think it's a very deliberate choice to take advantage of the lack of wall. He wants to open Adepts, so he goes for the proxy Stargate. And Astrea actually takes out that probe of Patience with the kind of probe pull move at the mineral line that I thought that only really happened in like Diamond and Plat. But he knew that the probe was already pretty low. He knew that even if Patience was paying attention to this probe, it wouldn't help him. And we see a Stargate from both players, but it is a little faster from Patience, and it is proxied on his side of the map, so we'll have to see what both sides want to make from it. This could turn into a pretty wild early game from both players.
yeah, I'm not feeling it for Astrea in this situation, though. Like,
No, me neither. Patience does have a wall off.
handling his own Adepts, blocking the Adepts of his opponent without a wall, and also having to deal with the Oracle. It's going to be a tall order.
Oracle from both sides, but it's going to be here faster for Patience, as he's going to try and take out a few probes. Oh, one of the Adepts actually does get caught by the probes, which is a lucky break for Astrea, definitely. But he is still going to lose a total of 6 probes to this. And this Oracle is about to come in and get even more down. Oh no, he's going to wait for 2 Oracles, and then that's just going to murder the probe line of Astrea. It's not as bad as it could be, though, because Astrea actually has been continuing to produce workers more effectively than Patience because of the faster tech that Patience had. So Astrea is not actually behind in workers. And a Phoenix is now on the way from Astrea, but they don't kill Oracles very fast anymore. And they're not going to be. It's not going to be there in time either. Oh, he's actually cancelled the Phoenix and is going for a Void Ray. He's completely misread this situation. He knows this is a 1-base, he knows it's a proxy, but he doesn't know it's a proxy Stargate, so he's preparing for some sort of robo-based bust. But here come the Oracles. Oh my goodness, this is the worst possible move.
That would really help him.
Oh no, we have a delay now?
Oh my.
Patience not happy, I understand why, but 11 probes are going to go down. Astrea is in a terrible spot right now.
Adepts do find the proxy Stargate, and they will work away at the pylon.
Yeah. So it looks like there won't be any more units being produced from this. Twilight Council on the way for Patience. Nexus on the way for Patience. Nexus will be faster for Astrea, but when you're down 11 probes, does that really even matter?
I mean, he can fix his probe count, but by the time he's fixed his probe count, the advantage goes into production, into tech.
Oh yeah, Patience is definitely very far ahead this game, that is for sure. An excellent opening, which I believe was designed to abuse Astrea's lack of a wall off.
Yeah, I mean, the Void Ray is such a clunky unit, too. It's not going to really allow him to push across the map. He's going to get a second one. I'm not sure what for. Maybe he wants to attack with 3 Voids or something.
Ooh, and the... man, Oracles are armored now, so Void Rays actually do tremendous damage to them. I've literally just never seen a Void Ray fighting an Oracle since the patch happened. It has not happened once. That is not a normal game. This is not how this game is, how PvP is supposed to go. But we will have Adepts going across the map from both sides. Going to try and get into that natural, get some damage done. We do have a lot of Stalkers and such for Patience. Meanwhile, very few units for Astrea. Actually, in the main, he does have 2 Void Rays now. There's 3 Voids in total, so I wonder if he's going to try and hit some sort of timing. He's got yet another Void being made, so he's just going for a ton of Voids. Goes into the main, gets a few probes, is Patience, but in the meantime, Astrea does get a few of his own, but now he's going to lose 3 probes himself. So overall, pretty even trade from both sides here. Blink is now done for Patience, but I don't think Blink Stalkers are really going to help against 4 Void Rays. This could actually work very well for Astrea, unless he wants to go into some sort of Blink Stalker timing against these Voids. But I think Astrea wants to go and attack? Yeah, it looks like he wants to go and attack. I haven't seen this for a long time. It's really interesting. With the lack of wall, the Void Rays, this kind of feels like a low-level game played to an extremely high standard.
Yeah.
Void Ray gets taken out. Feels like 2 players have both both Astrea and Patience have well, maybe not Patience, but it looks like Astrea has decided to copy a low-level strategy but execute it at like a 6500 MMR player would. And it's a very interesting way of going. And another Void Ray does get taken out. As you said, these are such clunky units. Whereas Patience is just microing these quite well, but actually a lot of Stalkers do get shaved away for Patience. But Astrea is moving out with these Void Rays. They cannot get caught out of position or they will get sniped pretty quickly. 2 shield batteries and a robo on the way for Astrea.
He's doing a really good job clinging to where he has cliff space to maneuver the Voids.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have shield batteries to, anywhere near his attack location. So he's gonna have to be very careful with them, as they really can't take a whole lot of Stalker volleys.
And he's not giving up at trying to get something done, and there is going to be very little on the other side of the map for Patience to defend. In the meantime, Patience is going to move up, but there are going to be a bunch of Stalkers and shield batteries to defend, but there is no blink. And actually, Patience has enough units to just one-shot these Stalkers. The shield batteries don't do anything. Patience has just enough to completely neutralize these shield batteries, and he knows it. But in the meantime, he's going to take tremendous damage on his side of the map. All of these Stalkers are going to get taken down before they can really do anything by the empowered Void Rays. The blink forward goes on the other side of the map, though. In the end, I think that Patience just has too much. He's taking out these Stalkers as they warp in. He's getting absolute game-ending damage done. He blinks on top of the Stalkers. He's going to take them down. The Void Rays are going to get tremendous damage done. There's just so much more happening on the other side of the map. 10 probes are going down on both sides. Both sides taking tremendous damage. But I think that with these shield batteries, yes, Patience will defend, and that is GG. Patience takes game number 3. What a game this was.
Wow.
Astrea is many things, but he is never boring.
Indeed. This is quite true. Oh, man.
This tremendous match is also sponsored by 24-Hour Fitness. 24-Hour Fitness is quite a cheap 24-hour gym, as the name says, with, I think, over 400 locations in the United States. Again, not something we have here, though we do have 24-hour gyms here, and I can say they are pretty fantastic. I love just being able to go to the gym at any time I want. If you're a night owl, like many of us StarCraft players are, if you just go down there at like 11 o'clock at night, it's like the whole gym is just for you. It is a sublime experience. And I highly recommend a 24-hour gym to those who stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning enjoying this wonderful StarCraft game of ours. So why not try 24-Hour Fitness, since they are bringing this match to you?
Alright, and with that we will be loading into Kairos Junction.
Yeah, so that will leave King's Cove, Year Zero, and New Repugnancy. A couple of macro maps, and very much a not macro map. Xeno knows all about New Repugnancy, and I think Astrea is the kind of person who maybe will use its unique geography, but I'll let Xeno tell you all about that map when the time comes.
It's a good map. It's a good map.
Xeno has his area of expertise, as those of you from Alpha X are very well aware of. And so I will defer to his superior knowledge on some very specific niche PvP strategies which we might see Astrea pull out on one of those maps.
It is definitely in his wheelhouse. I haven't actually gotten to see him do it this season on any particular map. That's not the only map that has interesting geography, as you put it.
After that game we just saw, I practically wouldn't be surprised by anything Astrea does.
Yeah, I know, right?
But into this game, in the upper left, losing game number 1, but coming back. Can he handle the weirdness that is Astrea once again? It is Patience.
And to the bottom right for Alpha X, it is the red Protoss. It is Astrea.
So, what do you think? Are we going to see Adepts again? From Patience.
Why not? I mean,
Yeah, I'm betting yes.
I mean, he's gone for this lack of a wall again. He's
Yeah. And I think Patience is continuing to send out this early scout to see if Astrea is changing it up and not going for a wall. And choosing to go for a wall. Because normally you don't actually send out the scout until after the cybernetics core.
Sure.
Because there's really not that much information until those first 2 units come out. Because everyone goes for 2 gates and a core and then 2 units and they wall off. Astrea has not necessarily done any of those things in at least one of these games. He hasn't walled off. He has gone for 1 gate more than once. So it is absolutely an early scout is a good idea for Patience, and I like how he's doing that. And I think we are probably going to see Adepts again. Adepts can go into anything. You normally see Stargate come after Adepts, but you can absolutely see other things. And Patience is being a bit cheeky. He's throwing up a pylon to delay this gas. Oh, look at that. That's actually so beautifully done. You can't access that gas at all from the Nexus in the most direct way. Look at how far those probes have to go. That is brilliant from Patience. How did you even figure this out?
Well, this is specific to his pylon placement. Yeah,
exactly. Like, no one else puts pylons there.
Oh, sure.
Patience could not possibly have practiced this. That's the thing. This is off-the-cuff genius. That is one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. Wow. Look at how much work that pylon is getting done. And whatever Astrea wanted to do before, I don't think he's going to get to do it now. And we do have Adept Sentry from Patience, which is kind of probably the most unusual set of 2 units you can start with, except for 2 Sentries or perhaps 2 Zealots. You just don't see that very often in the early stages.
Yeah, Adepts kind of need to be in pairs, and then Sentries...
Yeah. They're so much better in 2x2, and then we're going to see 2 more Sentries from Patience. This is a very strange opening. It will allow him to get a pretty fast Nexus while slowing plenty of hallucinated scouts. I guess he's placing a premium on the scouting information that he will get from these sentries, considering how unusual Astrea plays. But Astrea is going for a 3rd gate. He's going to get... Oh, he's going for 2 proxy gates. He's going to go for a 4 gate.
Both of them are proxy pylons, but the aggression from...
Ooh, beautiful force field. Look at that. There's no way that should work. If I was Astrea right now, I'd be like, really? Really? My Stalker can't fit through that? So Patience has his own proxy, but he's electing not to do it because he sees that Astrea is going for a much more aggressive build and that Patience will have to be the defender for now in this particular game. Robo on the way for Patience, so he's going to go into those Immortals, go into those units that will allow him to defend against whatever Astrea throws at him, and he's going for the hallucinated scout to see what's going on, but he will not see the 4-gate. But he does have a lot of units himself. He's continuing to produce quite well out of these 2 gates. We'll have to see if the 4 gates can overwhelm him before this Robo comes out.
It's off of the hallucination path as well as like your normal proxy locations, but it's still very close.
I agree. It's very difficult to scout. It doesn't look like it's hard to scout, but it is. This Nexus is going to take a lot of damage as Patience is going to have to move down to defend it. But actually, I don't think he does need to move down to defend it. He's going to have the tech advantage after all. I think he's just going to prepare to give up his Nexus. Yeah, he's going to have to give it up. And that's exactly what he does. And he's going to send 2 Adepts into Astrea's main base once again, using that lack of a wall to get damage done. This time on the other side of the map as a counterattack. And oh, the force fields could be pretty nasty here from Patience if he's paying attention, and he does. He gets 2 Stalkers and a Sentry basically for free. Oh, but actually it's going to be 2 Stalkers and a Sentry in exchange for 2 Stalkers because the counter force field goes down. Neither side has Warp Prisms just yet, which means these force fields to split off units are devastating. And we have 4 Adepts now for Patience moving into this, again, lack of a wall. Good warp-ins from Astrea though. He's actually blocking off both ways that you can enter that mineral line. That is very well done. We're seeing some amazing little micro tricks from both sides here in this game, and these adepts are going to go down, and they're not going to get much done at all. Like, he's going to lose 3 probes for 3 adepts. That's not a good trade for Patience. Patience does have the tech advantage though, and there's still no Nexus for Astrea, so I'd say Patience still has the advantage. He's got 2 Immortals, he's getting a Warp Prism. He could go across the map and get some serious damage done, but he still doesn't know where this proxy even is.
Now, it looks like Astrea has found Patience's pylon, so
yeah,
that can be cleaned up
Patience.
Eventually. You can sort out a headache.
Yep, and finally, Patience does spot it, and he's going to use that to expand.
This is kind of looking ugly for Astrea now that he doesn't have those 2 gateways of production.
The army count is ahead for Astrea, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Actually, these force fields are actually very bad. This just doesn't matter. The Immortals, the Stalkers, there's just so much firepower here for Patience, and he's just going to wipe out this entire army, and I'd say that's actually going to be GG very shortly.
He got the prism,
loses the Warp
which
Prism,
is probably the reason why he's staying in the game, but...
Yeah, but he's just going to regroup, make another Warp Prism, and continue to push across the map. There is no way that he can fight this army.
Yeah, he's lost half his production. He doesn't have a base. He doesn't have tech.
Yeah. There's a basic rule of StarCraft that says if you're behind in economy, you can catch up. If you're behind in army, you can catch up. But if you're behind in both, you're dead. That's how I see it. And he is right now very much behind in both, is Astrea. It is 2 bases to 1, and Patience is charging abruptly into the base. Astrea. He is going to be relentless. He's going to take all of these units out, and that's going to be game number 4. And now all of a sudden, Patience on match point.
Ooh, diddy. Well, that was some great aggression there, but he didn't have the tech to follow it up, and a little bit unfortunate. Anyway, if you guys haven't tried Bubba Burger, they do have that turkey burger that was as one of their 8 varieties, and you definitely should try it. It's all natural. It's very healthy. As someone that actually helps run a gym, I can say that I was quite pleased with it. The meat was tender. It had a good texture. It cooked faster than I was anticipating, but that is kind of to your benefit, really.
Which one did you get?
I got the turkey.
Yeah, but there's 2 different types of turkey.
Oh, really?
There's that turkey with onion and turkey with Monterey Jack, which is a cheese.
I think it's just a turkey with onion then.
And actually, I think there's just a regular turkey burger as well. So yeah, they've got a lot of stuff.
No, there's more selection than I even realized.
Apparently, yeah. I think maybe they've got 8 varieties of burger, but more varieties of other stuff. Because I'm seeing a bunch of different stuff on their website. A lot more than 8 different types of product.
Yeah, there were 3 at the local store that I was at, but I understand that you can, like, if your local grocer doesn't have the one you want, they have a website that you can kind of like special request it to get there. So,
oh, there you go. We are very thankful for Bubba Burger for helping us to make these events happen. And speaking of those events, we are moving into the next game right now. In the upper left, losing the last 3 games on facing match point. Can he find a way to recover? It is Astrea. And oh my god, look at this. He's gonna wall off.
The shoe is on the other foot. Are you sure that we have the right...
What is going on?
Well, in the southeast corner, as the blue Protoss, opting to skip the wall, it is Patience.
Patience still like, look guys, I'm Astrea.
Oh, they're making me mess up the score now because...
What on earth is happening? I don't understand. I have never been so confused in an entire cast, before. Even Astrea versus Parting, I don't know if it got this weird. Patience is taking on Astrea's signature trick after abusing it to hell and back in the last 3 games. What on earth can he be
This
thinking?
feels like Patience is like, let me try and beat you at your own game.
Yeah, but in the meantime, Astrea's not going for that game. He is going to wall himself off. Is Patience going to continue to go for the Adepts, though? I think I would. If I saw that happen like 4 games in a row, I'd be like, you are not practiced with this. I think there's a chance you were just going to totally forget your pylon when I come in with my Adepts. But Astrea is a much better player than the players I usually play against. I think he can defend properly, even if he's not used to doing it.
I don't know if I would follow that line of logic at this level.
No, at 4.8k, sure. At 6.5, not so much. These players are a little bit better than that. I realized it as I was speaking it. 2 stalkers from both sides. I seriously don't know what's up with this wall. I've got to find out. I have to know. I have a coach. I'm gonna ask him if Astrea can't tell me the answer. But I think I'm gonna just ask Astrea directly. Jamelian, by the way, he's very good. I do highly recommend him. He's not sponsoring this cast, I just quite like his coaching. He does a lot for the money he charges, helps you with replays and such.
He's put down, or Patience has put down a pylon.
Yeah, at the natural to just delay this natural of Astrea from going up. Which isn't really successful because Astrea doesn't look like he wants to expand right away. 2 stalkers into 2 sentries from Patience. Meanwhile, we're just going to have 4 stalkers out of Astrea. So, Astrea looked to get pretty aggressive. Oh, I think he was going for a proxy, but that gets denied by Patience's scouting stalkers. Robo on the way for Astrea, so yeah, I definitely think he's going to go for that 3-gate Robo style. I feel like Can we ask if we've got the names wrong? Have they actually switched accounts? I feel like they've switched accounts right now.
It is very...
For a moment there, I thought that gate from Patience was a second Robo, and if that had happened, I would have just flipped. Like, I don't understand what's happened. So 3-gate Robo from both sides, double shield battery from Patience, good defense it looks like. He knows what's going on, but there is a Nexus from Astrea. He's not all in with this. Oh! Forces the recall and takes out 2 stalkers. Does Patience with a beautiful set of force fields. No escape, and even cancels the shield batteries. Well done.
Beautiful play.
Patience is looking like he wants to bring this to a 4-1, which is what I was predicting at the start of this match, but I wasn't predicting it to go like this. This is not how I expected this to go. And
You expected it to be a little more normal or something?
Yeah, I kind of did. And we do have these Adepts going in. But
it is Astrea.
We're not going to finish. It is Astrea. And we have a Robo Bay coming out for Astrea. Just to continue the madness, I think we're going to see Disruptors.
Oh, perfect. I like it.
It is interesting. We'll have to see how he goes with them. I don't think I've seen him play Disruptors yet. Certainly not this series.
Prism going out for Astrea, it's gonna look to harass and kind of pull Patience back a little bit, as I don't think he's quite ready for an attack.
He knows. You gotta get out of there, Astrea. And he does. Meantime, one of these 2 of these Adepts will get taken out and sniped down. This last Adept does get in, but not going to get much damage done with just 1 Adept, although we will get a couple of kills. So, looking at the game state so far, Patience is ahead. He's ahead 9 workers. He's getting his Forge and Twilight faster. He's up a bit in supply. He's got similar army counts, but he's not down in army, even though he's ahead in economy. And he has scouted these disruptors as the tech of choice for Astrea, so he will know. And he's building a Stargate to get Phoenixes to lift them up.
I feel like now that the disruptor is revealed, Astrea kind of has to go before the Phoenix count gets to any considerable number.
I don't think one disruptor is actually very good, even offensively. So I'm not sure if this is a good idea. He might actually want to just transition out of the disruptors, but he does want to go. You're definitely right in what he's trying. Does he have a warp prism in the area? Yes, he does. He was going to harass that, and that was never killed. Hallucinated Phoenixes are not known for their ability to kill warp prisms. And he's going to use the disruptor in a warp prism. I quite like this idea. There's a lot of sentries here. If they get clumped up, but Patience already knows he's not clumping them up. But here comes the disruptor shot, and he's going to hit an immortal and get a lot of damage done on that. There's actually a lot of units for Astrea, as a few stalkers are forced to remain in the main base in order to defend against this prism. But oh my god, that was so close. The prism is at 4 hit points left.
Wow. Immortals are coming back.
And he's going to recall out these units at the main base before they get trapped. Oh, there's no sentries for Astrea, so he can't force field the ramp. But he does force the units to retreat, but there's 2 cannons up for Patience. Astrea forced to retreat, but he's used this advantage. He's used this opportunity to take the worker lead mostly back. And he's going to finish the Shade at the natural, get even more workers killed. 2 of them go down. We'll get 3. Actually, no, not quite. The targeting not there. Bit of a mistake from Astrea. But he has evened up this game very considerably. It looks like he wants to go for a 3rd base, but there are 2 adepts actually there for Patience to deny that. Bye-bye. And we're going to see a disruptor drop from a 4 hit point warp prism. It doesn't get much ballsier than this. And it's scouted.
Oh my.
You can't do this. You can't do this, Astrea. But he is going to overkill this probe magnificently, stopping it from building a 3rd. There will be no 3rds in this game, both players say. And we have a Colossus coming out from Astrea.
Okay then.
That's pretty much my reaction to this whole series. I guess we're doing this now. I guess this is just how we're playing this. The Immortal drop getting some tremendous damage done. At least this I understand. This is standard. But oh my god, this Warp Prism is actually in serious trouble. But it will get out alive. I think it is going to need to recall out, as the Archons are going to begin for Patience. Okay, so we have a 3rd base from Astrea in the bottom of the map. We have a 3rd base from Patience in the standard location. We have the Disruptor Colossus composition for Astrea, and he's getting the Twilight Council at 9 minutes into the game, and a Forge and 3 more gates. He has not had a Twilight and a Forge until now. Meanwhile, I think he's not ahead of Patience there. I think it is +1 upgrades for Patience. Yes, it is, but not +2. This game is very strange, and Patience is now moving out to attack this 3rd base, but it's not here, except it is. It's on the other side of the map.
I don't know. I mean, okay, so the Colossus...
Oh, oh my god, beautiful lift on those disruptors. Those charge rods could have been in serious danger, but actually both of these disruptors go down. I think Patience's attack could turn out tremendously strong here. He's trying to take out the Archon, which he will get, and the good position from Astrea will force Patience back for now. What were you saying, Xena, before the battle started?
The Immortals, or not the Immortals, the Colossi make a certain kind of sense in that, like, the Phoenix can't just lift them and remove them from the state of play like they were able to for the Disruptors. But I don't know how he moves out with the Colossus, because the Phoenixes can still kill the Colossus if they're not by shield batteries.
Well, not very fast. It takes so long.
That's true.
Phoenix is deal about 8 damage per shot to Colossi, and they have 350 hit points. That's about 15 volleys to kill a single Colossus.
Okay.
So really, the Colossi are practically immune to Phoenixes. The only way is if there were no Stalkers to protect them, and the Phoenix were just hitting them all the way across the map. And clearly that's not going to happen. Astrea will have the Stalkers to defend his Colossi. +2 on the way for both sides, much faster for Patience, as Patience gets a Dark Shrine. Does Patience even know about this third base? Yes, he does. He knows. And here it comes, another fight. The Colossi backing away, trying not to get killed. Oh, the Immortal! It's dropping directly on the Colossi, and he's warping in directly in Astrea's face! Oh, that is actually a really strong move. This one Immortal is basically killing every single Colossus. Patience is moving forward. He has the advantage. I think that's it. I think he's going to break him. GG. Patience takes the series with a beautiful series of decisive moves, refusing to get thrown off by Astrea. Wow, this was not the series we originally planned, but it was definitely a beautiful series nonetheless. Astrea, a born showman at heart, knowing exactly how to play to the crowd.
Yeah.
And Patience, what a god of PvP this man is. Handling anything Astrea threw at him, abusing any weakness, and even copying Astrea's play in the final game a little bit. Just because he can.
I'm still wondering what that was about. Like, if you stop something that handedly a good number of times that they stop doing it, it seems curious that you should then decide to do it yourself.
Yeah, after you've just given the blueprint to your opponent of exactly how to do it, how to stop it yourself. What a series. I think both these sides may have been having a bit of fun with it. I think this is the way Astrea normally plays, but I think Patience was having a bit of fun with it in the fifth game. I mean, he was ahead 3-1, he decided he may as well, why not?
Yeah.
He says he got lucky. May have gotten lucky with his tech choice, but he definitely played extremely well.
Alright.
And that will be our series for today. 4-1 to Patience. Thank you for Astrea. Remember, Astrea did step in at the last minute to account for Keen's lack of presence in this series.
Indeed. Anything else?
Yeah, I believe we do have one more shout out to make.
Oh yes, I'll actually run the clip, play the film, roll the, as it were.
Time is now, place is here to rest, filling the holes of my soul. I see, I like, I go, I get, no one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get, go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now. Go, I get, go, I get, go, I get.
Nuclear missile ready.